My stepsisters destroyed my prom dress to prove Cinderella stories don't happen. Now, they want an invitation to my marriage into royalty. I grew up with two stepsisters who made destroying my things their favorite hobby after dad married their mom when I was 12. If I saved for something, they'd ruin it within a week. New jeans, bleach accident. Good test score posted on the fridge, torn down and thrown away. Birthday money from my grandmother, mysteriously missing from my dresser. The worst was junior year prom when I'd worked 2 jobs waitressing after school and tutoring weekends just to afford a $300 dress from the clearance rack at Nordstrom. It was a simple, pale blue satin, but when I tried it on, I felt like I could walk into prom and not be invisible for once. 3 days before prom, I came home from my shift at Applebee's to find my closet door open and the dress gone. I found it in their room, crumpled on the floor, covered in foundation stains, with the zipper completely torn out. They stood in the doorway, smirking, and Ashley, the older one, said, "Cinderella stories don't happen in real life. No prince is coming to save you. Get over yourself." I didn't go to prom. I sat at home watching them post pictures in their $800 dresses their mom bought while I'd worked 60 hours for mine. I didn't get revenge, then I just kept my head down and studied harder. Got into UC Berkeley on a full scholarship, while they went to community college for 1 semester before dropping out. 5 years later, I was doing my master's in international relations when I met Eric at the University Library in Vienna during my exchange program. We were both reaching for the same political theory book, and he made a joke about democracy that made me laugh. He was getting his PhD in economics, dressed like any other grad student in jeans and a sweater. We studied together for weeks before he asked me to dinner, and I didn't think much of it except that he was smart and funny and actually listened when I talked. It wasn't until 3 months in when he invited me to visit his family for Easter that I realized something was different. "We'll need to fly private," he said casually. "Security reasons." That's when I found out his grandfather was the Grand Duke of a small European principality, and Eric was third in line to a defunct throne that still came with estates and investments worth about 400 million euros. Not exactly British royalty, but enough that European tabloids called him the scholarly prince and followed him to economics conferences. I freaked out and tried to break up with him, but he showed up at my dorm with grocery store flowers saying, "I'm still the same person who argued with you about Keynesian theory for 3 hours last Tuesday." His family was nothing like I expected, just old money trying to stay relevant by running foundations and sustainable agriculture initiatives. His mother ran a literacy nonprofit, and his father managed their renewable energy investments. When Eric proposed 2 years later at the same library where we met, he said, "I don't need you to be Cinderella. I need you to be the woman who destroyed my argument about monetary policy so thoroughly that I fell in love." The wedding was small by aristocratic standards, only 200 people at his family's estate, but People magazine covered it because apparently, American Nobody Marries European Prince sells magazines. The photos went viral back home, especially the one of me in a custom Oscar de la Renta gown that cost more than my stepsister's house. They weren't invited, obviously, but I knew they saw everything because Ashley tried to friend request me on Facebook the day after the wedding announcement. Their mom called my dad, crying about how cruel I was not to include family in my special day. Dad, who'd finally divorced her after she maxed out his credit cards, told her they destroyed her prom dress and said no one would ever want her. Why would she want them there? The last time I checked their social media before blocking them, Ashley was working at the same hair salon she'd started at in high school, posting throwback photos from when she was prom queen with captions like "peak life," while Brittany was on her third baby daddy, selling MLM weight loss shakes. Meanwhile, I was helping Eric's mother run a foundation providing scholarships for first-generation college students and living between Vienna and New York. The funny thing is, they were right about one thing. It wasn't a Cinderella story. I didn't need a prince to save me. I saved myself with every late shift, every scholarship application, every moment I chose to build something better instead of tearing others down. Eric just happened to be there in the library when I was already becoming who I wanted to be. But the look on their faces in those leaked hometown Facebook posts when they realized the girl whose dress they destroyed married actual royalty, that was better than any fairy tale.